Marriage is a bond built on trust, love, and communication. At least, that's what I believed when I married Sarah 10 years ago. She was my everything, my best friend, my partner, and the mother of our two children, Oliver and Emma. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. That's why I was blindsided when Sarah approached me one evening with a proposal that would turn our lives upside down. The start of the spiral. It was a typical Friday night. The kids were in bed and Sarah and I were relaxing in the living room. Out of nowhere, she said, "I've been thinking maybe we should try something new in our relationship. To keep things exciting." I was intrigued but also wary. "What do you mean?" I asked, genuinely curious but cautious. She hesitated for a moment before blurting out, "An open relationship." The words hung in the air like a thundercloud. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. An open relationship? I repeated, trying to process what she was suggesting. "Yes," she said quickly, as if saying it fast would make it less shocking. "I think it could help us grow individually and as a couple. We'd still love each other, but we'd have the freedom to explore other connections, a hidden agenda." At first, I dismissed the idea outright. "Why would we need that? Are you unhappy with us?" Sarah assured me it wasn't about unhappiness. "It's not about you or us," she insisted. "It's about exploring new experiences. It could be good for both of us." Her words sounded rehearsed, almost too polished, but I was blindsided by the request and couldn't see what was really happening. Sarah wasn't asking for an open relationship to explore. She was asking for it to justify something she was already doing. Reluctantly agreeing. After weeks of arguments, debates, and Sarah accusing me of being closed-minded, I reluctantly agreed. I didn't want to lose her, and I convinced myself that maybe this was just a phase. We set ground rules, honesty above all, no emotional attachments, and always putting our marriage first. Sarah seemed thrilled, but I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was off. The truth comes out. Within a month, Sarah was already dating. She claimed to have met someone at her yoga class, a man named Ryan. She talked about him more than I was comfortable with, but I tried to play it cool. After all, I had agreed to this, hadn't I? But as the weeks went by, Sarah started spending more time with Ryan than she did with me or the kids. She'd come home late, texting constantly, and acting like a giddy teenager. One night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced at the screen and saw a message from Ryan. "Last night was incredible. Can't wait to see you again." My stomach dropped. This wasn't just exploring or a casual fling. She was emotionally invested. Confrontation. When I confronted Sarah, she didn't even try to deny it. "Of course I care about him," she said defiantly. "That's the point of an open relationship, to form new connections. This isn't what we agreed to." I shot back. "You're supposed to be honest with me, but you've been sneaking around and lying by omission." She rolled her eyes. "You're just jealous because you haven't found anyone yet. Maybe if you put yourself out there, you'd understand." Her words stung, but they also revealed the truth. This wasn't about us growing together. It was about her justifying her affair. The breaking point. Things escalated quickly after that. Sarah became more distant, and I started noticing other cracks in her story. She wasn't just seeing Ryan. She'd been involved with him long before she proposed the open relationship. I hired a private investigator to confirm my suspicions. The evidence was damning. Sarah and Ryan had been seeing each other for over a year. The open relationship was just a cover for her infidelity. When I confronted her with the evidence, she broke down. "I didn't know how to tell you," she sobbed. "I didn't want to hurt you." "Didn't want to hurt me?" I yelled. "You've been lying to me for over a year, and you think an open relationship would somehow make this okay?" The kids get involved. What broke me the most was how this affected our children. Oliver, our 8-year-old, started asking why Mommy was always gone. Emma, just 5, cried when Sarah missed her dance recital to work late. I couldn't keep lying to them. One evening after Sarah left for another yoga retreat, I sat down with the kids and told them that Mommy and Daddy were going through some changes. I didn't want to poison their view of her, but they deserved to know something was wrong. The fallout. I filed for divorce shortly after. Sarah was furious, accusing me of giving up on our marriage. We could have made it work. she said bitterly. You just weren't open-minded enough. But her regret came too late. The damage was done. She had used our marriage as a shield for her betrayal, and I couldn't unsee the selfishness in her actions. Ryan, he disappeared soon after the divorce proceedings began. It turned out he wasn't interested in being a stepdad or dealing with the mess Sarah had created. The aftermath, the divorce was brutal, but I came out of it stronger. I gained full custody of Oliver and Emma, and Sarah was granted visitation rights. Over time, the kids started to see through her facade. They resented her absence and her broken promises, and their once close bond with her began to fade. As for Sarah, she admitted later that she regretted everything. I thought I wanted freedom, she told me during one of our final conversations. But all I did was destroy the one thing that mattered most, our family. I didn't respond. Her regret meant nothing to me anymore. Moving forward, now, years later, I've rebuilt my life. I'm in a new, loving relationship with someone who values honesty and commitment. My kids are thriving, though they still carry scars from what happened. Sarah, on the other hand, is alone. She's tried to repair her relationship with the kids, but they keep her at arm's length. Her once bright future is now clouded by the choices she made and the trust she destroyed. Lessons learned: marriage isn't perfect, but it requires honesty, respect, and a willingness to work through challenges together. Sarah's betrayal taught me the importance of standing up for myself and my values. Sometimes, people don't realize the value of what they have until they've lost it. By the time Sarah understood what she had thrown away, it was too late.